Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline.net. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of U of M Wolverine players sign their entry-level deal, and I'm seeing Kent Johnson sign his. I'm seeing Owen Power sign his. I'm seeing Matt Benier sign his, and Luke Hughes still has not signed his entry-level deal, and I think it's time for him to do so. We have a lot to discuss in this episode. Buckle up.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Albeit scores! Oh, Steven stepped up, nailed him. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup!
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here on the Locked On Network. I'm your host, college hockey play-by-play announcer, and also Devils writer for Pucks and Pitchforks, Trey Matthews. So a couple things have been swirling around the University of Michigan hockey program the last couple days. And no, I'm not talking about them coming up short in the semifinals a couple days ago to the eventual champion Denver Pioneers. I'm talking about a few key players signing their entry-level deal. So you got the first overall pick signing his entry-level deal, which is Owen Power. So he is set to join the Buffalo Sabres very soon. Then you got Kent Johnson signing his entry-level deal with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then you got Matt Benier signing his entry-level deal with the Seattle Kraken. Now, it raises the question, when is Luke Hughes going to sign his entry-level deal with the New Jersey Devils? Now, here's the thing. We already had an idea of what Luke Hughes' mindset was going into the draft and going into his freshman year at the University of Michigan. He was set on doing at least 2 years at U of M. And I respect his decision, but I really want to make this pitch to him and just say, maybe it's time for you to sign your entry-level deal and join our team next season so that way you could play for the Utica Comets. Maybe you can make the roster, wherever the case might be, because I think Luke Hughes is ready to join our team and sign his entry-level deal. And here's my pitch. Okay, so I'm going to go back over the offseason. So for any of my religious listeners, you probably recall this. Before the draft, I talked to Jack Summers. Jack Summers is a senior defenseman for the University of Michigan program. He talked about Kent Johnson. He talked about Matt Beniers. He talked about Owen Power. He talked about all of his former teammates who are currently playing in the NHL. And he talked about how the team was very set on just reuniting and getting the band back together for one more season to try to make a run for the national championship. Unfortunately, U of M fell short in the semifinals. They lost to the Denver Pioneers in OT. And yes, I know losing at that stage is always a tough pill to swallow, especially since the University of Michigan were the number one seed, so they were the favorites to win it all. But at the end of the day, the Denver Pioneers, like I said moments ago, ended up winning the entire national championship. So I guess U of M can sleep better at night knowing that they lost to the eventual champions. But the point that I'm trying to make is that Summers, during our interview during the course of the offseason before the NHL draft, he said the reason why the team was so head-bent on bringing the unit back together was just because they felt as though COVID kind of took something away from them. They were unable to participate in the national championship due to COVID, so they just really wanted to reunite everyone, bring the band back together, and just try to run it again and possibly win the national championship. Obviously, fate has it that they didn't win it, and I know Luke Hughes is big on maybe returning to U of M for another year before he signs his entry-level deal, but I think it is time for Luke Hughes to join the New Jersey Devils organization because I'm seeing Powers, I'm seeing Beniers, I'm seeing Johnson, I'm seeing all those guys sign their entry-level deal, and it raises a question, why Luke Hughes? Why are you taking so long to sign your entry-level deal? Or can you at least ponder the fact saying that maybe it's time for you to leave U of M? Because my question to you is, what good is doing another year at U of M going to do for you? Like, how's it going to benefit you? Because, you know, you got some other guys who are forced to stay in college or play overseas to take their game to another level. But like I said a couple weeks ago, I said that Luke Hughes was always in the running for some of these Big Ten awards. He was always getting a lot of recognition, and he has performed head and shoulders above my expectations because this season he has appeared in 41 games. He has 17 goals, 22 assists for a grand total of 39 points. And the one thing I want to highlight is his plus minus because he has a plus minus of plus 26. Why am I highlighting that? Because one of the issues that Luke Hughes had going into the draft was that, you know, despite him being good on the offensive side of things, he is a defenseman at heart, and sometimes he gets a little too jumpy on the defensive side of things. So his opponent is able to blow right past him, and, you know, sometimes it puts him into an unfavorable position. But at the same time, you know, the fact that he has a plus minus, it does show potential and it does show growth because when he was playing for Team USA, he appeared in 38 games. He had 6 goals, 28 assists for a grand total of 34 points and a plus minus of plus 11. So you see him take his game to a whole nother level after just one season. So my thing is like, why do you want to go back to U of M? Are you trying to win another national championship? What good is that going to do to you? Like, at the end of the day, winning a college national championship is great and all. I know you want to build a legacy at U of M. And, I talked to one of his teammates over the summer and, Jax told me that one of the reasons why they wanted to return was just because, they felt like COVID took something away from them. But at the same time, why are you acting like a dog trying to chase its tail? You know what I mean? Just like you're going around in circles and you're not really growing. You're not really developing. And I feel as though Luke can benefit so much more by playing with the Utica Comets and developing his game there and possibly winning a championship for our AHL program. I feel as though that can do so much wonders for him because look at our Utica team, guys. Like they've already clinched a spot in the AHL playoffs. Like they've clinched their ticket to the Calder playoff series. So, it goes to show you how great Utica has been this season. And we've already known this because they went on like a 12-game win streak at the beginning of the year. And they've put their foot on the gas pedal and they haven't looked back since. So Utica is a great program for a lot of our young guys. Some guys have developed well, like Alexander Holtz. Some guys are a little behind the 8 ball, like someone like Nolan Foote. But at the same time, I just feel as though you put Luke Hughes in the AHL. I feel as though he has the same trajectory. I feel like he has the same star potential as someone like Alexander Holtz, because if you guys recall, Alexander Holtz kind of struggled at the NHL level for the few games that we gave him, albeit we didn't really give him a favorable position to try to succeed in. But, that's digressing a little bit. That's beside the point. But when you put Alexander Holtz in the AHL program, when you put him on the Utica Comets, he's able to take his game to another level, and it makes us excited for him next season. And, we're already talking about, like, could he be paired alongside with Nico Hischier on the top 6 and take the New Jersey Devils to that next rebuilding process that we so desperately are yearning for. And I feel as though Luke Hughes can kind of do the same thing, which is, will he succeed at the NHL level right away? No, I don't think so. I don't think he'll take that huge of a leap. But the fact that he took a huge leap from playing for Team USA to now playing at U of M for playing on one of the best college teams assembled in recent years, I feel as though Luke Hughes, has that same trajectory as Alexander Holtz. And I feel as though he is ready to try to, take his game to another level, play with a different team, and try to pursue a championship at the professional level. I don't think he needs to, get a college championship because, look, I get the reason why they wanted to bring everyone back together. But at the same time, you tried and ultimately you failed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's no shame in that. Like, I get that you formed a special group. I get that you were the first seed. I get that there were high expectations. You got to the Frozen Four. Unfortunately, you lost in the semifinals. But at the same time, it's like, is it really going to be the same team next year? Like, what good is that going to do you? I feel as though you need to strike while the iron is hot right now. If you have this momentum like you're having, Luke, you really need to take it to another level because who's to say that, maybe you won't have the same season as you did this year? Because my thing is like, what if U of M performs poorly? What if you take a step backwards? I feel as though in order for him to take a step forward, he needs to go to that next level and, have the right development. And that's not a knock at U of M. They've put together a very good program, but at the same time, they're no professionals. And I feel as though if he's around professional players, if he's around, future NHL stars like himself, if he's competing with grown men at the AHL level, I feel as though Luke Hughes can really take his game to an even higher level. And I feel as though that's what he needs to do in order to succeed. So that's my overall pitch to Luke Hughes. That's the basic overall structure, which is, I get that you're head-bent on returning to U of M. I get that your initial goal was to spend at least 2 years there. But at the same time, I really don't think it's necessary for you to do that second year, especially when you see Power, Beniers, and also Johnson sign their entry-level deal. Because if you guys recall, 3 of the first 4 draft picks in the previous NHL draft were all products of the University of Michigan, including Luke Hughes, who was committed to play there. So my thing is like, the team won't be the same. That's my thing. And also it's just like, I think it is time for you to join the New Jersey Devils organization and just help your brother shapeshift the organization, because I feel as though he is ready to take that next step. And, he doesn't have to be like his brother where he goes and skips college and then goes straight to the NHL. Well, he can't right now because he already completed his freshman year, but you get what I mean. We could take our time with him and develop him in the right direction. And I feel as though the best case scenario for him is to sign his entry-level deal, join our team in training camp, and just see where he's at in terms of overall production. Could he be like Dawson Mercer and make the opening night roster? Could he be like Alexander Holtz, where he's going to need some time in the AHL to develop his skills? I don't really know, but I can assure you that I think Luke Hughes is going to be something special in this league, and him being a two-way type of player, I really am looking forward to what he could do for our blue line, because right now our blue line is heavily inconsistent, and sometimes we have good outings, other times we don't, and I feel as though getting Luke Hughes gives you more options. For right now, obviously he would be playing on the bottom four, but if he's able to, stay on the same path that he currently is on now, I feel like the sky's the limit in terms of his overall development. So that's my overall pitch to Luke Hughes, and I'll talk a little bit more momentarily, but first, it's time for the first live read this morning, and it comes from a partner that I literally use every day. So I started taking AJ1 because I wanted to be happier, I wanted to be healthier, I needed the energy that I needed to take on the day. Also, sometimes I have trouble sleeping at night, so it kind of helps with my overall sleep cycle. So you're probably wondering to yourself, what is this stuff? Well, with one delicious scoop of AJ1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all things. So here's the thing, like I said, why do I personally consume it? Like I said, I'm just trying to be happier. I'm trying to be healthier. When I take it in the morning, I feel good. I feel like I'm ready to, tackle on the day. So that's why I take AJ1. So here's some health facts. It's a lifestyle that is friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good, supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness. It's the one thing that I like about Athletic Greens. It uses the best of these products based on the latest science with constant product iterations and third-party testing. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition with just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Like I said, it's time for you to take control of your health once again. Okay, so I have one more aspect to my pitch to Luke Hughes in terms of him signing his entry-level deal with the Devils. Look at our overall prospect development in more recent years, because I feel as though the Devils are on the right track in terms of just getting the most out of the players they draft. You can look at Nico Hischier, you can look at Jack Hughes, you could look at maybe someone like Alexander Holtz, who's sort of the future. You could look at Dawson Mercer, who had his name in the Calder Memorial Trophy race early on in the year. We have a lot of great young talent, and I think Luke Hughes would benefit well by just being in that same environment, because, you would be the focal point of that overall development, because we know how important you are to the future. And like I said a few minutes ago, I said that Luke Hughes could be very beneficial on our blue line, because right now it's wildly inconsistent, and I would actually like to see Luke Hughes develop alongside someone like Dougie Hamilton, because the fact of the matter is Dougie Hamilton is still somewhat young in his career. Yes, he's bounced around a couple times, but at the same time, I feel as though Hamilton just has a lot of room to grow. He's only 28 years of age. He'll be turning 29 this June, so we're a couple months away from that. But anyway, I'm just saying, Dougie Hamilton is a superstar in the making. I feel as though he can win a Norris Trophy, and I feel as though Luke Hughes could potentially, maybe, if he cleans up his defense a little bit, like I said, controversial take, but I feel as though Luke Hughes could put his name into the Norris Trophy at some point during his time in the NHL, because I feel as though he has the overall tools and development to just be an elite defenseman at the NHL level. And right now he fits the modern NHL, which is the NHL is very big on two-way defensemen. And, it's one of the reasons why, you see someone like PK Subban start to fizz out in the NHL right now, because Subban has not adapted to the new style of the NHL and where it's going in terms of direction. And I feel as though Luke Hughes is the epitome of just having a player who's a defenseman who can, work both ends of the rink. So I feel as though, if Luke Hughes really wants to develop well, just look at our overall, development of our more recent prospects, from forwards to defensemen, and, pay no attention to the goalies, because that's not important. That's irrelevant. We'll fix that a little later. But still, just look at our overall development in the AHL, because our AHL program is through the roof, guys. Like I said, we got off to a very hot start at the beginning of the year, and they've already clinched a spot in the playoffs. They punched their ticket already. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Utica Comets could do come playoff time. So that's something I'm also looking forward to, because we have a lot of young talent down there, and it's really starting to come into fruition. And here's another player that I'm really excited about, and he is sort of my X factor going into these next couple games, because we got the Coyotes, then we got the Avalanche, and then we got the Kraken. It is Fabian Zetterlund, because I feel as though Zetterlund really benefited well playing next to Nico Hischier, because, he was able to have 2 assists that game, and overall he was able to just, make himself look a lot better out there, and he looked a lot comfortable. He was close to getting a goal in a more recent game, and I'm really hoping he does get a goal before the season ends, because he has a crazy celebration, so I am yearning for that. But the point I'm trying to make, and here's another aspect to my pitch to Luke Hughes, which is the young guys know how to develop one another. Like, look what Jack Hughes was able to do to Sharon Govich. Look what he was able to do alongside with Dawson Mercer, because Dawson Mercer was kind of on a drought, and Jack Hughes was able to get him going once again. Sharon Govich got off to a very slow start into the season. He was able to jump kick it into a new direction once Jack Hughes returned from injury. And then you got someone like Jesper Bratt, because like I said, Jack Hughes does not have the season he is having if it's not for Jesper Bratt and his overall development and taking it 3 steps even further. So Nico Hischier, same way. So my thing is, the young guys know how to develop one another, and this might be controversial once again, but is it safe to say that Ty Smith has started to pick up his game lately, because he's starting to show glimpses of what we saw last year? I get that Ty Smith has been having sort of a down year, but in the previous game against the Stars, he was able to score. Then the game prior against the Canadiens, he was able to score. And then a few days ago against the Florida Panthers, he was able to get an assist. So is it safe to say that Ty Smith is somewhat back and starting to develop in the right direction? I don't think that's all that subjective to say, but, I'm just saying, based on more recent games, I feel as though Ty Smith is starting to pick it up himself. So my overall thing is, even if a young player is down, the young players know how to pick up one another. And I feel like Luke Hughes can benefit well, because they're all relatively, close to the same age as him. So, it would be sort of like playing at the University of Michigan, just with more experience and a lot more talent surrounded by you. So I feel as though Luke Hughes can benefit well by playing with his brother and his band of misfits, and just, bringing it all together, because the Devils are known to getting diamonds in the rough. They're known for just developing, some surprising players in their AHL program. So I feel as though Luke Hughes can really benefit well if he joins the Devils ASA now. Now, before I give my final thoughts and wrap up today's episode, I want to give you guys the second and third live read this morning. First up is BetOnline.net. So BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season. Go Tigers! BetOnline is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, NASCAR, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Please remember to gamble responsibly, and visit our friends at Locked On Bets for all your betting needs there as well. And now, the third and final live read comes from our friends at Built Bar. So Built Bar, the thing about it is, this time of year, I pretty much have given up on my New Year's resolution. We're kind of almost halfway done with this year already, but not this year. I love the puffs because it helps me keep on track with my resolution. If you haven't tried it, you're missing out on one of Built Bar's best tasting protein bars. Puffs are the first ever protein infused marshmallow. They're fluffy, they're marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar, they're a treat, and they're covered in 100% real chocolate. Puffs are a fan favorite with some incredible flavors: yummy cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie, so good. These flavors are going to be your new favorite. All Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Yes, puffs included. 100% real chocolate, low calorie, high protein. Replace your candy bar with these. They are better. A typical candy bar can be anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. Go to BuiltBar.com and scroll down to the macros chart and you'll be blown away. Most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. They have all sorts of flavors, including mint brownie, coconut, coconut almond, and new this month, white chocolate, cookies and cream. They are all delicious, and new flavors are coming out all the time. If you think a flavor might be good, they'll make it. It'll be delicious, and it'll be good for you. And like I said, they'll try to make new flavors every month. I don't know how they do it, but somehow, some way, they find a way to make it delicious. So the offer is go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and you'll get 50% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. Okay, so my overall thoughts on Luke Hughes is, I don't know if he's going to sign his entry-level deal. I don't know if he's actually pondering it. I don't know if he's deciding whether or not to, possibly sign it. But at the end of the day, I feel as though he would benefit well if he did sign his entry-level deal because, it would be a perfect situation for him. It gives him time to develop and, whether he plays for the Comets, whether he plays for the Devils, I feel as though whichever, aspect he decides to go down on, I wish the best for him, whether he returns to U of M for another year, whether he decides to sign his entry-level deal and join the team. I don't know what the case might be, but I would love to have him here. I would love to see him at training camp this upcoming season. But like I said, that's my overall pitch to Luke Hughes and trying to get him to join this team. And now, before I wrap up today's episode, the next 3 games for the Devils, they're going to be somewhat interesting. So that game against the Dallas Stars kind of opened my eyes for the Devils. Look, I get it. I'm not trying to read too far into one single game. But at the same time, it's just like, look, we got the Coyotes, then we got the Avalanche, and then we got the Kraken. I fully believe the Devils can swipe at least 2 of those games because the fact of the matter is I don't think we're going to beat the Avalanche, but I don't think we have that miracle left in us. And then you got the Arizona Coyotes and you got the Seattle Kraken, both very bad teams, but then again, we're a bad team ourselves. So if the Devils can just keep up the momentum and just overall just keep riding Dawes' hot hand, then I think they can overall just do much better and put up that same performance that they did against the Dallas Stars. Because here's the thing, guys. We were able to compete with a team that was hungry for a playoff position. We were able to, keep them off the board for the most part. And we competed with them hard. Even if we lost that game, you cannot deny that the heart, grit, and determination was there. So if we could keep that same mentality for at least the Kraken or the Coyotes, the Devils should have no problem getting 2 of those 3. Because I fully believe now since they've gotten their act together, they've gotten their head screwed on straight, they were able to finally get that win. And I just really hope they're able to ride that hot hand a little bit because, that game against the Canadiens, that game against the Bruins, and that game against the Panthers was downright ugly. So I'm just hoping, like I said, I am hoping, I am not predicting. I'm hoping the Devils can keep that same momentum that they had against the Stars and then, keep it going against the Coyotes and then a few days later against the Kraken. But, against the Avalanche, I'd say there's little to no chance. So hopefully that game is just not a massacre. But those are just some of my final thoughts and just trying to give you guys some hope just because I feel as though I'm one of the more optimistic Devils personalities out there. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about Luke Hughes and his overall situation. And also let me know, do you want him to sign his entry-level deal or do you just want him to stay at the University of Michigan? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment down below. If you're listening on a podcast streaming service, hit me up on Twitter at TreyMatt4 or the show's Twitter page at Locked On Devils. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. As for today's episode, that's all the time I have for you guys today. So thanks for listening. Continue to stay safe. Have a wonderful day, New Jersey. Go Devils. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode, hopefully covering a Devils win. Thanks for listening once again.